So in 2014, we got a new Donkey Kong Country game, a new Mario Kart, and a new Smash Bros. I wonder what could be next. Yikes. First off, on February 20, 2015, Nintendo released Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. Right off the bat, I loved this game's art style. I'm such a sucker for these stylized, craft-like graphics, so this game seemed like a no-brainer for me. That was until I actually played the game. I don't know if I'm just in the minority, but I was honestly never a big fan of these kinds of games. You see, Nintendo used to release games on the DS that would make use of the system's features, such as the touchscreen. That's how we got Kirby Canvas Curse, which made the player draw lines to control Kirby. And it's the same idea here. You just draw lines on the gamepad to control Kirby. Now I have nothing wrong with anybody who did enjoy this game, but for me, playing this game on the gamepad just did not feel intuitive to me at all. In the end, I honestly just couldn't really get into it. And so, my search for a 2015 Wii U game continues. What the heck is this? On March 20, 2015, Mario Party 10 was released. After Mario Party 9 introduced the car mechanic, which forced everyone to move around the board at the same time, I think we all thought, okay, that was an interesting experiment, but I can't wait for some classic Mario Party again. Nope. Mario Party 10 brought the car back again, now in HD. There's something about the car that just feels so clunky and boring. Rather than fighting your own battles and trying to screw each other over, now it just feels like you're all playing against the game itself. However, if you didn't like regular Mario Party, you did also have a new game mode called Bowser Party. This was a 5-player game mode where 4 players ride in the car, and 1 player plays as Bowser chasing the players in the car. On paper, it does actually seem really interesting and unique. That is, until you realize that there are only a handful of mini-games, which end up repeating quite often. I'm sure you can probably get some kind of enjoyment out of Mario Party 10, but oh my god, I think this is probably the lowest point of the Mario Party series. So not gonna lie, 2015 is off to a pretty bad start. But then on May 29th, 2015, there was a glimmer of hope when Nintendo released Splatoon, the first new IP from Nintendo in quite some time. Splatoon was revealed at E3 2014, and it showed off this really interesting type of gameplay. For the first time, Nintendo would be diving deep into the third-person shooter genre, and they were literally diving because this game is based on squids. The overall concept is really simple. Just get as much of your ink on the map as possible. However, once you start looking deeper into the gameplay, there's actually a lot more to this. The fact that you're a squid means that you can hide in the ink. You travel faster while you're swimming than if you just walk on the ink. I mean, overall, this just felt like a very Nintendo-like approach to a third-person shooter. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw that this was Nintendo's brand new IP for the Wii U, I was a bit skeptical and a bit worried. I felt like there was a big chance that this game could just be a giant flop. And that's another fish pun. But you know, introducing something brand new on this console that at this point is pretty much confirmed to not be a success, I think it was quite risky. But luckily, Splatoon as a series is now a runaway success, and it's really interesting to look back to where it all started. For the most part, all of the Splatoon games pretty much have the same basic premise. However, Splatoon 1 does have that unique added element of the gamepad, and it's used pretty much exactly how you would expect. You have the minimap on there, you can jump to your players by tapping on the minimap. It pretty much takes out the whole overlay menu that is now on the Switch Splatoon games, and just throws it on the gamepad, which, I mean, you know, can be really nice actually. However, I will say that Splatoon 1 does have a unique feature with the gamepad that none of the other Splatoon games have been able to replicate, and that is actual local multiplayer. Granted, it is a much stripped down version of Splatoon, but hey, I always thought Splatoon would make for a nice local game, and with the Wii U version, one player plays on the TV while the other player plays on the gamepad. Similar to Call of Duty Black Ops 2, you pretty much just give the gamepad to your annoying friend that you just want to beat at Splatoon. But I mean, hey, the fact that there's local multiplayer in Splatoon I thought was really cool. I wish they would somehow bring that back for future Splatoon games. But for the most part, I thought Splatoon was just very fun and interesting. It was a completely new idea from Nintendo, and I consider myself one of the lucky few that actually got to see where Splatoon started on the Wii U. Then, on September 11th, 2015, we got Super Mario Maker on the Wii U. So this was an interesting game, especially after we got new Super Mario Bros. U when the Wii U first came out. As the title suggests, this game allows you to create your own Mario levels. You can save your creations and share them online for other people to play. Unfortunately, on March 31st, 2021, Nintendo discontinued support for uploading your courses, so to the one person who waited 7 years to get Super Mario Maker, I'm sorry. Anyway, I have to admit that any of these games that require you to create your own levels, it's not really my jam. I just don't think I'm very good at creative design or anything like that. So honestly, I don't think I even created any levels in Super Mario Maker. But what I can say is that the fact that this game used the Wii U gamepad, it felt like the perfect match. Finally, this giant tablet controller with a stylus felt like it had a purpose. And especially when you compare it to the Switch version, using the Wii U gamepad to create your levels is infinitely better than trying to use a controller. While I'm terrible at it, I think the whole creation aspect of this game is really cool, especially the fact that you can instantly change between all of these different games. I think people who actually have creativity had a field day with this game. And it really showed because the most fun I got out of this game was playing all of the levels online. Just seeing all of the creativity from people all around the world, it was so cool. Granted, you did have some just awful levels, but I mean, hey, whether they were challenging, cute, or just all around fun, I think the creativity people offered with this game was really great. While Super Mario Maker honestly didn't appeal too much to me, I'm glad that it did resonate with some people. And the final Wii U game I picked up for 2015 was Yoshi's Woolly World. I pretty much knew as soon as they revealed this game at E3 2014 that it was going to be an instant buy for me. So Yoshi's Woolly World is pretty much everything you would expect. It's a 2D side-scroller Yoshi game where everything is made out of yarn and cloth. It's essentially a spiritual successor to Kirby's Epic Yarn, and it shows. I mean, I don't know what else I can really say about this game. It's just so cute seeing the art style like this. Yoshi is just cute as a character. You can play through this game with 2-player co-op, which is cool. Couldn't be me though. And just seeing all of these Yoshi characters made of yarn, it was so cool. I love it. Although the Yoshi games have now become very notorious for being too easy, I don't know, for the art style, I felt like the difficulty kind of matched for this game, but I can understand why people had that critique with Yoshi's Woolly World. There was also some amiibo compatibility, where if you scanned in an amiibo, Yoshi would basically turn into that character. Super duper cute, I love it. And speaking of which, something that I super duper love are the Yarn Yoshi amiibo. These are my favorite amiibo ever. The fact that they made these amiibo for this game is just incredible. So if anything, these amiibo were the highlight of the year for me.